Hello, everyone. AKA no one. Oh, I'm joining here. Cool. So I'm not speaking into the abyss of no one. Um, I don't know if it's a glitch. I see Joanne wrote questions in here, but I don't have any. Oh, here they are. Now they're showing up. Cool. Awesome. As you guys can tell, my environment in here has changed 3 times now. I'm now currently in, the marketing side of the office, so I'm on the other side of the building. Obviously, no major changes to the live stream, but I just thought it was kind of cool. I got my little setup here, which is really exciting. Joanne, can you write in just to let me know if you can hear me okay? I have my microphone symbol here showing, but it's not saying that it's picking up every word I'm saying, but it could just be an easy glitch. So if you actually do hear me, just please let me know. I don't want to ramble on for hours and me be on mute. That would be a little bit of a time waste. Mohammed, I can definitely help you out with that. Oh, you can hear. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much. But Joanne, in order for me to help you out with your question, could you do me a favor and could you post your domain in the comment section? Mohammed just did it for me down there in the comment section. But you are on YouTube. We also run these live streams on Facebook, but YouTube has certain privacy settings where they won't allow you to actually write your URL or your domain into the comment section. So the best thing you could do was write something in the comment section along these lines. So let's say your domain was actually your domain. You could say like, hey, Charlie, my domain name is my domain without the .com. So I just wrote it in the comment section. You can see I just literally excluded the .com or the .org, and then I just literally put a space in between the domain. Oh, wait, wow. No, it didn't. How about this? Your website. Okay, so you see how I added the last comment there? Just don't even write domain because it looks like YouTube's going to pick up this domain indicator and then not post it. Constantine, welcome in. Good to see you. I don't know if we've met before, but if you're just joining for the first time, I want to say thank you. Thanks for joining. I really love doing these live streams. It's definitely one of my favorite parts of the day. So I do appreciate you guys coming in, and hopefully you guys take some benefit away from this. I usually like to stall for these first 10 minutes because then the questions really start coming in. But I'm actually just going to start answering them because I usually wait and then the questions flood, and then I'm kind of playing a game of catch up. So you guys that write in questions aren't getting the answers when you write them in. So Joanne, I can for sure help you out with those LCP scores on mobile, but I don't have your domain, so I can't pull it up and troubleshoot live for you. But I can let you know just a quick piece of information that if you are struggling with LCP scores, the first thing I would probably look at with your setup is going to be your cache. If you do have a very low cache hit rate or no cache at all, that will definitely take a huge impact on your LCP scores. On the contrary, higher cache hit rate can be correlated with faster and better LCP scores. Oh wait, you wrote it right there. What am I saying? Here I am. I'm like, Joanne, you need to write your domain name, and you literally wrote it right underneath the comment. Joanne, is it okay if I share your actual domain? Like I can share my screen with everyone to see. That way you, but also everyone else can see. If you just want to let me know if that's okay, just post it down in the comment section really quick. I'm just going to pull up your domain in front of me right now. Again, if you don't want me to share your screen, that's totally fine. I can literally just walk you through verbally what I see and what I would point out. Oh, I spelled your domain wrong. But before I go into this, Constantine asked a great question that I could answer really quick before we go too much farther. Constantine asked, thank you, Jan. He said, this is Jan. He says, I'm curious if those levels are counted per individual site or if I have multiple websites, can I get an advantage of reaching higher level faster? Great question, and yes, you can. So the levels they actually go off a publisher level, so it's not off one individual site. So let's say you were running one site with Ezoic and maybe 2 with AdSense. You wanted to test between your domains. If you were to actually add those other 2 domains that are only in AdSense to also into Ezoic, they will actually count towards your level. So it could push you from level 1 to level 3, or access now to level 2, or level 1 to level 2, 2 to 3, blah blah blah. But yeah, the more domains you add to your account, the higher up your level will be. Joanne says, yes, I can share my screen. Awesome. I'll do that right now. And then Constantine, a follow-up. What is the threshold of visits per month that someone should look for other hosts if they're using Ezoic free WordPress hosting? So, good question. I don't think there is a threshold, because in terms of limitations, we actually do not have any on our hosting, whether that be uploading content, videos, more domains. There's no limitations on the amounts of storage you can use. So if your site is doing 1 million impressions in a month, you can still come onto our hosting. I want you guys to think about our hosting is right now basically a self-service type system, especially in the Access Now program. So if you're saying, I'm actually not really comfortable with managing my own files, or I don't really want to mess anything up in those terms, we do have a list of really good fully compatible hosts that we will actually hold on. We will basically label these and say, hey, these are fully certified seamless technologies you can use with Ezoic. I'll throw that down in the comment section. But in terms of limitations on our hosting, there are none. So if that's your question here, like, hey, I want to upload 1,000 YouTube videos, or I expect a massive traffic jump coming up, the winter season, whether that's you have a holiday website, or whether you're just you're working on your SEO efforts, there are no limitations there. But Joanne, I do have your domain pulled up. Okay, let me plug in my computer really quick so it doesn't die on you all. I'm running a couple of monitors in the live stream, so I really don't want to mess that up for you all. That'd be annoying, because as you guys probably know, I've actually done it before. Cool. Thank you all for waiting patiently. I'm actually going to switch these around. Cool. Boom. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Thanks for letting me share this, Joanne, with everyone. I really do appreciate it. Cool. Share. All right. Oh, you guys can still see me in the side here. Cool. This is awesome. I like this way, way better. I don't know how I just did that, but I'm still on the screen over here on the left side. So I'm just going to walk with it and pretend like I did that on purpose. Cool. So the first thing, again, Joanne, I was saying, if you're struggling with LCP scores but everything else looked okay, my initial thought, and basically my initial plan of action, will be to increase your cache hit rate. Right now it's grayed out, so my thought here is that you're either running caching externally, or you didn't do this on purpose and you're actually not currently caching your website, which will make total sense as to why your LCP is hurting. The next thing I'll do once I'm from the home dash and I check out my cache hit rate is I'll actually go to the speed tab of your dashboard. That's basically where you will find your core web vital scores, your optimization settings. You can do the Ezoic lab to actually dial in things by a URL basis. But the first things I'll kind of take away here is I'll go to the recommendations section, and this will basically flag any technologies that is hindering site speed, whether that be any small scale, macro, or a micro scale. But yeah, so you see YouTube's being flagged, and basically an alternative you can use is our own video player. So you can actually embed your own videos into the Ezoic dashboard and then go from there. Easy table of contents. I think this is actually a great, this is a good feature for you guys to have on your websites. I think it helps a lot in terms of navigation. You can also control maybe where the user request path go from one page to another. But the really nice thing about it is here, you can actually just click on View Alternatives, and we will basically show you the other table of contents plugins that are have the same function and actually perform better in terms of site speed. So this first one we're flagging at the very top, Simple TOC, Simple Table of Contents. This is a faster plugin that you can use for the same one. And you can literally just go click website, it'll pull up the plugin, and then you can go from there. So that's going to be another point of direction. Let's go through some others. That's a really good way. These ones, especially with the red exclamation point, are kind of the ones that you should really take action on. It'll tell you exactly the percentage of domains using this and how it actually affects their sites as well. So these aren't, this isn't lab type data. This is actual real user data that we pull from other domains. Sticky kit as well, smooth scroll. So word fence security as well. You don't need this one specifically. Your site is protected when you do integrate via our CDN, which you guys all do, and you get access to IntelliBot. You get free access to Cloudflare, whether it be your own account or through ours. But in terms of plugins, this is actually still on the lighter side of things, so this is really good. When you see this here, not enough data is available to generate this report, that basically means that we cannot display core web vitals through Leap just because we do not have enough data yet to report. As you guys know or are about to learn, Leap actually analyzes real user data opposed to like a lab type setting. That's the major differentiation between this speed test and many others. All others don't use real user data, nor do they usually actually analyze core web vitals. Core web vitals are an important ranking factor for Google, so these are metrics that are relevant and important. On top of that, you can see, looks like she actually sent hers in to be set up by one of us. Those are now active, which is also why this data could not be showing. We might have pushed a new version of Leap, which is why it's not. But still, let's get back to the original question. We're going to go to LCP, largest contentful paint. It's not pulling any of your worst performing pages yet. So what I'm actually going to do is I can actually test this another way. And this is a really good tool and a really good technique you guys can all pick up on right now. So what we can actually do when we don't have reports, so no, she's not doing a ton of traffic in a day, which is why this is not portraying yet. Again, Leap will only show data once it has A, enough, but B, so it can actually accurately analyze these pages and give you valuable feedback. Let's continue. So let's say I was one of her users, and let's just say, I would love to read something about the great outdoors. Let's do lawn care. I'm actually from Maryland, so we have a weird thing about loving our grass and our front lawn. So I'm curious. I'm going to go into lawn care here, just about what kind of picks my apart. We can see some articles here. Let's actually go to this one right now. Cool. So this is a really cool feature that our plugin can actually do. First off, Joanne, setup looks really good. I love the sidebar here. You have links to your other pages that are relevant. Some really good images. It does look like the second half of your articles are pretty light on the layout in terms of ads, but I'm going to bring it back to your original question. So as you guys can see up in the top right corner, you can actually enable the Chrome extension and then go over to Leap, and this will basically analyze your pages individually, and you can just view them here. We see the same recommendations that we did through the home page of Leap. Then you can actually click on LCP here. And it is rating pretty poorly. So let's analyze this again, and it'll probably give us a similar score. A community, sorry if I butchered your name right there. But he says, I think I missed something. What's that table of content plugin again? It basically will give you an actual table of contents, either at the top of your page, so you can say, let's say it was used on this one right here. When should you rake your grass in the spring? Basically, so this is what the table of contents plugin looks like. You can actually pull down this table of contents, and it'll take you directly to the part of the article that you actually want to read. So this is what the table of content plugin actually does. Oops. Again, we can go to Leap. Okay, so you can see, so now that I've actually visited the page prior, I'm probably being served a cached version of this, which is when you can really see the improvements go from basically red all the way to green. So, Joanne, I noticed that you don't have your cache enabled in Ezoic, which is fine. I will ask to make sure that you are using a caching plugin that is fully compatible. If you want to click on that link over on the right, the one that says, Ezoic.com/certified seamless with Ezoic. It'll actually list a couple cache plugins as well, but there is a more specific article for this. And here we go. What known caching plugins work or don't work with Ezoic? This is a really good tool for you right now, Joanne. But again, to basically just sum up this question you have and to answer it, it definitely seems like your cache hit rate is definitely going to be what's hindering LCP the most right now. To further go into this, let's check out your optimization settings. It looks like it was set up by one of us. Preload background images is not enabled. I would absolutely go through and test this. You can set up, you can do change settings. I won't actually change them, of course, but then you can actually enable these preload background images, and then you can actually preview your pages. So if you do see, something messed up with your actual images, which would make sense why this is actually turned off. But if there are no problems with your images after enabling this, I would for sure say enable this, leave it on, because this will help with LCP scores a lot. So Joanne, I'm going to give you 2 pieces of homework, I'll call it. First, cache. Second, enable those features down in there. I just want to make sure that Joanne didn't ask any follow-up questions. But yeah, Joanne, if you want me to walk back through that, or if there was anything that I said that you weren't fully comprehending or understanding, please just let me know. I'll be more than happy to circle back and answer that again. But honestly, I will say, if I were to just kind of, venture off into another topic, usually if I'm analyzing some of your guys' pages when I'm troubleshooting or helping you guys out in Twist, another thing I like to do while I'm already on the page is I'll just check out your placeholder setup. Because even if you are user experience motivated, if that's your mindset, if that's your goal, adding more placeholders is still kind of the avenue that you guys should all be going to. That way we can actually give our users the best experience on your page. Okay, it's fully loaded. Okay, cool. Cool, so it does look like you added placeholders using the WordPress plugin. That's awesome. That's definitely the best first step to do in adding placeholders. But as you guys can see, there are still many areas, like I like to call this prime real estate. This is pretty prime real estate to add a couple placeholders. Do remember that adding more placeholders does not mean that you will be showing more ads in total. These are just more potential ad locations for our ad tester to test. So Joanne, a little bit off topic from LCP, but I will say that definitely the later half of your articles could use a couple more placeholders in general. And then actually to touch up on that is I would also add a sidebar placeholder right here that floats. So that way, once we do pass this sidebar content, I know you had one here at the top that looks really great. Once you do scroll below here, this sidebar floating will actually come down with the scroll. That will be great in terms of viewability and ePMV. While also not hurting user experience because you have all your content right here. Everything looks great. But Joanne, I want to say this site, the setup, this looks really, really good. Our gardening and kind of like home improvement niche is definitely one of the better performing ones in terms of ePMV. I can share that data with you guys as well. But again, Joanne, this looks awesome. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Mohammed says, "Hey Charlie, I want you to help me with the site for review again. Some traffic Google and bounce rate low and increase my content." Mohammed, I can definitely check that out. This is definitely something I can check out outside of the live stream. So let's try to keep it. Let's keep that discussion in Twist, and I can definitely help you out with that directly after this. Because I will need to pull up your actual data and then basically analyze it from there and then continue forward. Cool. I'm just stop sharing my screen. But again, Joanne, looks really good. Yeah, add placeholder, check your cache, make sure you are caching either in Ezoic or via compatible plugin, and then go from there. PD, they say, "Hey Charlie, how are you?" I'm doing well. Pretty busy morning today, but it's been a really good one. Busy's a good thing. It means we're getting stuff done and the day's going by quick. But yeah, Constantine, I do want to reiterate again, If you do add more domains to your current account, that will increase your chances of going up on levels because it is done on a publisher level, not just one specific domain. My site is also slow to respond. Laura, okay, let me pull this up for you really quick. Joanne, your Leap setup was actually, it was very solid. Of course, there's room for improvement, but let's just look at this from another perspective. Now, this is a question we see a ton in support, which is not a bad thing. I think most of the time it's just a misunderstanding of exactly how Leap works, how it analyzes, and then how it also might show differently on other page speed tests that you guys have already been familiar with using. Cool site. Consumer brands like MNL. Cool. I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you guys can see this on another site. But my process will look very similar. Oh, PD says, okay. So PD, let me know your the issues you're having with your DNS, and I can definitely check that out and offer my 2 cents. Or put you in the right direction to get some help. I'm going to share my screen really quick. Share screen 2. Oh, wait. Before I do that, hub dash. Cool. So Reeb, if you're just loading up your homepage, this is basically how it's going to look. Your cache has been lower for the past couple of days. That's totally fine. I'm assuming you're just making changes to your site. That's totally fine. Let's go to the speed tab again. Again, not enough data to report here, but again, looking at a couple of these plugins, they have a severe negative impact on your performance metrics. So I would very highly suggest replacing these. Looks like your theme is also being flagged. If you guys are actually using pro versions of these themes, they can actually sometimes hinder site speed opposed to actually help. It's just the more scripts and more things you're gonna have to actually load onto your site can actually slow it down. So sometimes having a simpler theme will be better for site speed, which then in turn has better UX, so then in turn can have better ePMV, and then of course that results in better earnings. But let's see again. Okay, so we do have some of your worst performing pages right here in terms of LCP. Again, let's just go to the actual page since there's not enough data to load. It does look like this site is definitely on the newer end of things. We're seeing a okay, so this probably is most likely with the theme you're using or one of the plugins you're using. It could be clashing with Leap. But as you can tell, there's only about, let's say less than half of the features currently enabled. So I would say go through, change your current version of Leap, enable these settings, and then before, of course, you set it live, I want you to preview your site, basically head to toe, top to bottom, left to right, make sure everything functions okay. You want to check out your mobile versions, make everything's okay. Check your mobile menu, make sure there's no layout issues, make sure ads are still filling inside CSS inside the layout. But yeah, there's tons of potential to be enabled here. Again, if there are issues with the current theme you're using and Leap, we can then troubleshoot from there or point you in the right direction, help you change to a current more compatible theme. But let's visit one of your actual pages and then see how it looks while using the Chrome extension. So then we go Chrome extension, Leap. It'll again flag all the technologies being used on this page. LCP needs improvement, but looks pretty solid. CLS is awesome, well done there. This technology will basically show you again the technologies that are being flagged, the ones that are being used that are okay. So yeah, you are using Astro Pro as well, which is fine because Astro Pro alone is fast, but Astro on top of Astro Pro could be a little bit slower. And then this debug CDN will basically show you if you are actually being cached, and if you are being cached through our CDN, cache hit detected. That's beautiful. And then even right below, this will actually show you the cache settings that you guys can have in the dashboard. And if you are looking excuse me, if you are looking to change these, you can simply go back to the speed tab of your dash, find the caching tab right here, and then we can scroll down and see on. In order to improve this further, the one thing I would do is say override cache control headers. I would definitely turn this on right here. I won't do that because this is your site and I don't want to do that without your permission. But that's definitely going to be another one. So we go through your current lead configuration and then make sure you dial in your cache. But honestly, the site is loading pretty quick on my end. The data points to that as well. Again, that's only going to pull real user data. So things look pretty good right there. Cool. This is a comment that I don't want to read, but it's the reality of the way these updates go with Google. Charlie, my website traffic is massively down to the Google helpful content update. Any reason for that? Can I recover in the future, or I start a new website and don't waste time? So there's definitely no reason why you have to. I would never say walk away with this current progress. I would just say reanalyze your content as if you were Google. They're kind of looking for content that is going to be answering the questions directly asked by your users. So if it's proper lawn care, and then I visit it and I see a bunch of affiliate links for things that are not related to lawn care, or I'm not getting a ton of original content to what exactly the products or services you're showing, then if it's not super relevant to the question or what I'm looking for, then Google might actually deem that. Of course, this is not a perfect process on their end, but it's definitely not something I would say walk away and start a new domain. Probably what I would do if I was in your shoes is I would actually go into the analytics tab of your dash, find some of the content and some of the categories that are performing really well and that are ranking really well, and then maybe try to go off that. Do some keyword research in terms of SEO, figure out what has a good competition, maybe a competition that you can actually fill into, and then work on writing new content and improving your current SEO. But direct reason for it is not something I can answer directly right now. I wish I could. I wish I had that insight. I wish I could read Google's mind and say, hey, this is exactly maybe what they saw or didn't see. But unfortunately, it's just the reality we all live in. As you guys know, as well as website publishers, sometimes we're just playing this game that they set up for us. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss PD's question. Okay, good. It's still coming up. Anna asks, hi Charlie, I'm having a problem on my courses. My domain tellus.co.zw. I don't have an AdSense account nor an ad manager account. So if I say no, I don't have an ad manager account, then I put my email address, it says invalid input. I don't know what to do. Please help. Two things. Invalid input could be just a typo between the two boxes, because it will say, write your email and then actually copy and verify that that is your correct email. That could potentially be one. The second is, if you do have maybe like an ad mob account or an old Google account, you can then make sure you use that one. Can you send me an email? Yeah, she just gave me her domain and gave me the email. Let me just do this for you really quick and see what comes up. Okay, so I'm seeing you haven't applied yet, which makes sense. That's what you're saying. Let me see. Complete ad manager. So you do not have an AdSense or an ad manager account. Angie. Here. Okay, I just want to make sure I wrote that. I typed that in correctly. Send invite. If this does return an error, which it doesn't look like it did. I would ask if you've had an Ezoic account in the past that has also used this email, or if you think maybe another publisher somehow could have used this. But I am actually getting the same exact error on my end, and it's not even giving me invalid input or anything like that. So I'm actually going to send this over. Oh, wait, no, the invite did work. It was sent out. Okay, Anna, can you go ahead and accept that invite? I just sent it out to your email. Everything worked, and it should be good. This is a legendary username, by the way. I am Loco. Me too. Why doesn't Ezoic like page builders? I'm using Oxygen Builder, but the system flags it as a disadvantage. So this is going to go back to one of the articles I can pull up right now. And a lot of the data that we found in terms of site speed is that some of the basic WordPress themes are actually better in terms of speed and higher earning. I'm pretty sure we talked specifically about page builders here. But again, so if you are using a page builder that's built on top of another theme, you are just using more resources and scripts to actually load your page. And the more you do that, the slower the page will actually be. So it's not that Ezoic doesn't like page builders. It's just that we've built out a feature, which is lead, that will basically just flag anything in your domain that is hindering site speed. So it's not that we don't like it. It's just that we built out the tool that's going to flag things that are going to slow down your site. Sometimes, and a lot of times, these pro builders are actually going to get flagged because they are hindering site speed quite significantly. But if you want to check out the article I just dropped down, give that a read, and that'll be great. Ash, hello. Nice to see you as well. I'm happy you're back here. I don't think I saw you last week, but I'm happy to have you back. Let me know if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to cover. I know we're a bit deep into it, but I will say that these live streams are basically going to be pretty open-ended for you all. You know, if you're saying, hey, I've really been working on this one, this one feature, or I've really been working on one aspect of my site, can you give me your insight? Can we go through that? Could you troubleshoot? That's more than fine. Basically, what I'm trying to get out here is that I'm willing to cover whatever is most beneficial for you all. So I really, again, I don't have a specific agenda. I do have a couple things that I'd like to cover throughout the live stream, and a couple things that people have asked in the past. Like I know Open Tune Day is in here, and he wanted me to do some wrapping ads, but I basically got access to one of the newer features that we have that can actually, we can remove certain ads from your pages without actually going in and manually wrapping all of the current ads that you've added. PD says, I have an issue today regarding my DNS records in Ezoic. PD, let me know your domain. I'll be more than happy to just pull this up. I can look at it from my end. I can do a little bit of troubleshooting, and then I can send it to the team if I really need them to. Maybe it's like an SSL configuration. Maybe you have security enabled outside of Ezoic. Sometimes your host will actually change IP, and if your host does change IP, the site might not actually go down because it's serving cached versions of it. But all we need to do is really just update the IP in your DNS records, and you'll be fine. Aziz says, I'm not earning much with videos. So part of this is actually going to be building up a demand for these videos. I'm curious if you actually embedded the videos through YouTube or if you actually did it through Humix. But again, this is an earlier side and newer feature, but there's so much data out there that it's just, it's adding just additional revenue to your current pages. So it's definitely not going to be hurting. We've definitely configured this in a really good way to actually not hurt user experience. We kind of messed around with a couple different sizes, and we're obviously going to continue to test these, but we will portraying the best possible size and layout. Yes, your help desk says, my website on educational posts have 20,000 sessions. Is this good for Ezoic? Yes. If you're not aware of this already, but that's basically where the Access Now program kind of came about. We basically removed the page limit for any site. So if you have a brand new site and you're doing one impression or one visit a day, you can still come to Ezoic and use literally all of the features that are available for the same publishers that do 1 million impressions a day. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that Ezoic saw an opportunity to help you guys out. You guys, as in the smaller, newer domains. And we didn't, we offered no limitations to this. You still have access to free hosting. You still have Lead for free. You still have analytics, SSL, hosting, everything. You have literally everything built out, regardless of your program. So this is really cool. But again, you don't need 20,000 impressions or sessions to work with Ezoic. It can be brand new. PD says my hosting provider, Hostinger, asked me to contact Ezoic support. They didn't provide me any solution. So I can definitely troubleshoot this, but PD, I'm going to need your domain name. Oh, I remember looking at this now. Okay, I'm going to catch up on these questions and then jump right back into that. Anoha says, hey guy, I've sent you emails and no response. Please, my name is blah, 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 goodkira.com. I need to join the twist. I have issues. So I've actually been on my email, every day the past couple days. I mean, every day as it is. And I definitely saw no email. I haven't missed any, at least on my indication. I'll look through basically all my folders. But Twist will be our primary aspect for our primary avenue for support. So, reaching out to my emails, I will respond and I'll say, hey, I can help you out, but we need to do this in Twist where not only me, but our entire team can help. PD is my hosting provider. Okay. Mohammed said, oh, we already talked about this, Mohammed. We can definitely look into this again, but again, this is going to be done in Twist. I'm not the support. And next says, hey Charlie, great to see you. Hope you're doing well. I appreciate that. I am doing great, thank you. It's another sunny, beautiful day in San Diego. I can't complain. Actually, just kidding. I would say one of my best qualities is that I can complain regardless, and it's really hot out. I'm kidding. It is a great day, but it is a toasty one in San Diego. I do really appreciate that. I hope you're doing well as well. But yes, so the CNAME that is showing up is basically going to be the record that you're going to have to change in Cloudflare, which I remember basically seeing this. But the News Council accessing your domain straight through the root actually was working. It was the www record that was not being added. So if you want to make sure that www record in Ezoic matches exactly what you have at your host, or if the record doesn't even exist in Ezoic, make sure you add it there as well, and then it should be fine. But again, I can definitely help you out with this. I am Loco says, thank you, of course. And if I do answer your question, you're like, hey, that helped, but I'm actually, I'm looking for a little bit more insight. Just say, hey, Charlie, slow your roll, circle back, let's go through this again. I'll be more than happy to do that. Beatrice, this is a great question. Also, I love the icon symbol here. That's awesome. And I don't think we've met before, but I will say hello. I am Charlie from the Access Now team. Thanks for joining. And this is a really, really good question. Why do I have more visitors / page views in Google Analytics compared to Ezoic? Does it have to do with because Ezoic is just does it have to do because I'm using Ezoic just recently, since about the 17th of last month? So it doesn't actually have to do anything with time or how recently you integrated. What it's actually going to do with is the variance between how we actually collect the data. So as you guys know, in the Access Now program, you guys are going to all cloud integrate, which basically means the user request path will basically go from my computer still to your host. It'll route to the Ezoic CDN, and when it actually routes to our server, that's when we'll actually collect the data. How Google Analytics does it is you'll basically add the script to all your pages, and then it'll be a JavaScript function that will collect the data there. So purely just on the way we collect data is basically why you will see a small variance in your analytics. The variance is normally around 10 to 15%. So if you're seeing 100 visits in GA and 5 in Ezoic, that's for sure something that we want to flag and look into. Sometimes the GA script get duplicated or even triplicated and can show multiple times on pages, which can then skew your GA visits to show more than Ezoic. But then again, if that variance is anywhere from the 5 to 15 or basically 1 to 15%, then that's totally fine. You don't have to worry about that. Michael says, hey Charlie and everyone, how's it doing, Michael? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining again. I love when you guys all join in. I really do. This is definitely my favorite part of the week. Okay, awesome name. Just do it like you know it. For new users who submitted their site for review, does Ezoic check how many blog posts and categories to approve for monetization? Yes and no. We don't say, hey, you have to have, X amount of articles in order to get approved for monetization. But it has to be, I just say that and then I'm going to contradict myself and say, hey, you actually do need X amount. But let's just say you need around, 10 to 15 articles in total. That's just to get approved for monetization. Of course, you can still integrate your site and use our features outside of the monetization. But I think what you're probably seeing on the internet or in Twist and other ones is that in order to monetize and actually show ads with Ezoic, you need 2 approvals, one from Ezoic, one from Google. And the Google review is actually the review that gets a little weird and funky. If they actually access your site, they visit one of the categories in your menu, and there's only like 2 or 3 articles under it, they'll actually deny your site for low value content. That doesn't mean your content is low value or bad or anything at all. It's literally just saying Google saying, hey, under each category of your menu, you should probably have 6 articles minimum. So if you have four categories in your menu and 3 of them all have 10 articles, but one has 2, and they're all amazing, even if those 2 articles are ranking first and they're seeing 1,000 impressions a day or even more, Google can still deny it for low value content purely on the basis of there not being 6 articles underneath that category. So it's pretty specific and weird, but Google's been flagging it all over the time for hundreds of domains. It's rather a bit of a pain. Google doesn't even specify in the denial that this is the reason why, but we can easily analyze that if you do get denied and say, hey, this is why, and it's going to be because you have, either A, you don't have 6 articles underneath a category, or B, you have an article showing up under 2 different categories. I can put this in an example. So let's go back to Joanne's site, the gardening site. Let's say she has an article, how to mow your lawn like a pro, which I can show you, by the way. Let's say that how to mow your lawn like a pro actually shows under 2 different categories. So let's say like backyard and gardening, those were 2 categories. Let's say the article showed up under both. That will actually also get flagged for low value content. Again, it doesn't actually mean that the content is low quality at all. It's just saying, hey, this article is showing twice under different categories, and that's why. Ash says, oh, Ash, okay. I've been around a while due to schedules, but I migrated from Squarespace to WordPress at the start of the summer. And my rankings fell. Traffic fell about 80%, and now I feel a little bit lost. I don't have access to Twist anymore. I'm not really quite sure to get back on track. I've tried so many changes over the summer to fix things, and will love some support. What do you suggest? Ash, so if you still have Twist downloaded, you can actually still DM me. I would suggest doing that now, and then we can actually, get you in touch with, who you should be doing with support. It sounds like you've actually exhausted your time in Twist, which is why you're now out of Twist. But yeah, reach out to me there. If not, send me an email, and I can make sure that we get this covered and dialed in. I know I remember your F1 setup site. I know you have tons of subdomains for different, for basically different tracks, for different setups. You have like your Miami setup, a bunch of other ones. But again, this is definitely something we can definitely look into and help with. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of SEO effort, but again, we can definitely pull some resources and figure out a good path for you. I know that feeling of feeling a little bit lost, especially when you put in all this work to set up, and then you're just simply losing traffic when going over. I totally feel your pain here, and I can 100% sympathize, and I will help you out for sure. Michael, good question. Again, I can answer this yes and no. No, it won't change your, it won't change your rankings or anything like that directly. But if you are going from one host to a newer one that's A, fully compatible, and B, is also faster, this can then also improve user experience. And then, of course, if we're improving your user experience, ePMV and revenue will be better. So not a direct correlation, but a passive correlation here. It looks like 2 people also mentioned Bluehost here. I'm hosting with Bluehost. Should I change over? Let me pull up the article with you guys and actually give you some better insight on this. I will say that we have seen, Bluehost has done some things in the past that have caused some issues with Ezoic. Of course, we reach out and we resolve these all the time. I have not used Bluehost specifically with mine, but is not one that we suggest in our certified seamless one. So I would either say SiteGround. SiteGround is probably one of your better bets. That's one we see all the time. A2 Hosting is another really good one. Kinsta. But for example, Bluehost basically enabled a feature for them to allow to enable Cloudflare on the back end. What this was actually doing in Bluehost was changing the IP of your origin server, and then we were actually picking up the Cloudflare IP in Ezoic, which is why some users were seeing issues with indexing for a little bit. So that's just something I would say, move forward with caution, because Bluehost was changing origin server IPs for a bit and creating some issues. But Joanne, I would probably say, you can go to Ezoic Hosting, you can do Kinsta, SiteGround, Crystal, A2, Amazon Lightsail, Big Scoots, Rocket.net, Cloudflare, our hosting again, and then Namecheap are ones that we suggest. Subham says, if a person have 10 site in same AdSense and his AdSense disabled due to one site, then all 10 site get disapproved by Ezoic. Not always, but it can be. So if one of the sites gets disabled and it creates issues with the actual account, then yes, then it will create issues with the rest of the domains. There are instances where this does happen, and there are also instances where only one site gets turned off for a certain reason, and then the rest are totally fine. But then again, this can be an issue, especially when applying to Ad Manager, because if Google sees previous issues in the past, they can say, hey, this isn't good. We don't like this. We can't move forward. And that's just something that we're going to have to respect on Google's end. If those are the policies and those are the conclusions they're running when running their tests and their review, then that's just something we're going to have to respect in order to maintain a healthy relationship with them. Yes. Annex, you always bring up such great points, and I really want to touch up onto this, but I can't say too much yet. But yes, you are right. Customer Week is coming up. We have some really, really exciting changes coming in terms of the dashboard and the features available there. Again, I can't spoil it, but it will basically change the way you look at Ezoic. Ezoic is not just an ad network. We're an all-in-one tool for all website publishers. Again, we do the analytics, we do hosting, we do SSL, we do privacy. We do our ad tester, we do layout tester. There's so many other things. We do Leap, caching. But yeah, some of these changes might facilitate that image better in your head. And I'm gonna basically leave it at that before I get in too much trouble. Cool. Constantine, I am thankful. I got 3 videos made by Ezoic team for my blog, but I would like to ask if I can have access to the feature to make more videos, or do I need to be a certain level to have access? So Annex throws an alley-oop. Constantine grabs it, dunks it for the next question. But part of this exciting change is actually going to be giving you guys access to this feature. It's already been established, which it is called Flickify. Basically, what this amazing feature is going to be able to do is it's actually going to be able to convert your content that is written into videos. That way, if you're not into making videos, you don't like standing in front or behind a camera, you don't want to deal with editing, we will have this feature available in the future to all. We do have a timeline for this, but I'm not going to verbalize it yet, as it's not fully established. I will say, Constantine, I know you're excited about this feature, as am I, and as a lot of other people at Ezoic. It's produced some really, really good results. It's also great because it's obviously perfectly relevant to your content. But yes, you will be able to use this feature in the near future, just not quite yet. I did drop the link, recently, and it was basically saying, you can basically input your info into that Google Doc I sent you, that Google form, and it was going to basically give you access to 2 or 3. videos. That's basically part of the beta of it, but it is going to be rolling out to everyone here soon. And I'll leave it at that before I get in trouble. What do we do with users who use ad blockers and browsers like Brave? So I'm not actually 100% sure what Brave is, but what it sounds like, it's probably a browser that blocks advertisements from showing. Some of the long-term things we're trying to figure out is working with specific ad networks that can actually still bid on these pages, so that way when users do have ad blockers enabled or this Brave browser as you speak, we can still sometimes serve ads and get impressions on those pages. But then again, sometimes there's just like it's nothing we can do. We can't go to the user's computer and turn off this feature for him and say, hey, we got to have ads to show. That's up to the user and it's totally fine. There's really nothing we can do about that. But then again, this is kind of like an early works type of thing. But I do think, definitely over maybe the next year or shorter or longer, we can try to work up some workarounds for that. It's definitely been something that we think about often. It's definitely been brought up a ton. It's a great point. But I'm going to write down this browser. Of course, I gave up my pencil earlier. But I'm going to write this down just so I can do a little bit of research for you. And if I can get an answer, I'll be happy to bring it to the next live session. But it's called Brave. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up with the team, do a little of my own research, and then go from there. Beatrice, thank you, Charlie. Yes, we've met before in the YouTube chat and on Twist. Oh, that's right, of course. But I'll say thank you. Thanks for joining again. I'm happy to help you guys out in Twist all day long. I do like it in there, but as you guys know, I can run my mouth, which is why they put me in this room and I can stand in front of a camera and talk to you guys for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But yeah, thanks for joining. Can I restrain this live feed? Yes. Oh wait, restrain? I don't think you can restrain it, but you can retain it if that's the word you're looking for. If you want to retain this live stream, you can view it on YouTube after. But now I feel like I'm skewing this question too far. Can you clarify this question for me a bit? If I'm just, so you guys' comments are hilarious. Gaurav, yes. Hey, Charlie, remember me? Yes, I do. I honestly remember your name and your profile picture because it was the same before, but I don't remember your domain specifically. Regardless, thanks for joining, and I'm happy to see you here regardless. Belong to Soil says, my site has 35,000 traffic organic from USA. Is it necessary to have Google Ad Manager account? Recently, I'm using Mediavine and wanted to try Ezoic also. So you do need to have a Google Ad Manager account. I thought I knew before. I thought before you still had to use Google Ad Manager for Mediavine. I thought they were using the similar network. So if you are with Mediavine, then I would just say use the same exact email to sign up for Ad Manager in the Ezoic dashboard. I will say this is a great thing to try. That's one of the major benefits of also trying Ezoic is that if you do have other sites using other ad networks or other softwares or other things like that, you can simply just test your traffic in Ezoic in the settings tab of your dashboard. You can send half of your traffic to one version of your site and half to another, and then you can simply say, hey, let's not make a random decision. Let's actually look at the data. We can compare X date when you were, either running traffic through Ezoic to X date when you weren't, or you can just compare the data between old site and your new site being Ezoic, old site being your Mediavine pages, I'll call them. But I will say that one of the major things and one of the major holdbacks, especially in the Access Now program, maybe not for you with 35,000 page views, but still for you as well, is that when you do split test, you are limiting the amount of users that our ad tester can test. So as you guys know, when you first join, your site basically goes through an optimization timeline over a handful of months if you see 10,000 visits in a month. So even if you do, let's say you're seeing 10,000 visits in a month and you're sending 100% of your traffic to Ezoic, it might take 4 to 6 months, 3 to 4 months to basically learn your users and learn your pages. But if you're split testing, now your users are only seeing around 5,000 Ezoic versions of your pages, and it might actually take our ad tester twice as long to learn, just because we do need a certain amount of data in order to fully analyze and optimize your pages. So that's just something to consider if you do want to split test. Is that to be patient, give our AI time to learn, because obviously our AI is the primary character for our monetization. So you just want to actually give it ample time and data to actually analyze. But yeah, you will need an ad manager account to answer your question in short. You will need an ad manager account in order to monetize with Ezoic. Thank you, Charlie. Twist has logged me out. Where can I email you? I will drop my email down in the comment section right now. That way you guys can all reach out if you do need help. I won't answer, site specific issues. I won't do major troubleshooting through my email, but if you're saying, hey, I need to get in touch with support, I need help, I can for sure facilitate this process for you. If it's something quick, of course, I can answer and help you out there. But yeah, please just send me an email and I can put you in the right direction. I saw Anax was making a comment earlier. He's like, Charlie and his spoilers. I want to go off on another tangent again about another potential spoiler. But I'll basically say that it'll be easier for you all to get access to support through one system. I probably just spoiled it, but I'll leave it at that. So we are making changes. We do also agree that finding support through Twist is a really good avenue, because once you're in there, it's an open-ended Discord. We can talk back and forth really quickly. Other publishers can also chime in and help, but it's not super clear cut and easy for you guys all to sign up through Ezoic, do that, sign up through Twist, and then use Twist, use these Twist channels to then, troubleshoot for Ezoic. So we do understand that there is a lot of confusion and things here. So we are making changes to basically facilitate this answer. But yeah, I just dropped my email. Please send it to me, and I'll for sure help. Oh yeah, PD, you're over in India, so it's probably super, super late. Have a great night. Always happy to help. But yeah, give me just a little bit more details in the actual Twist thread, and then I'll go in there right after this. I can work with Tucker and Taylor, who are both in Twist right now, and we'll make sure we touch up on this. Candy Fun BD says, no one responding to my ticket. 5 days gone. Very bad support team. So this is also, one of the things, we also agree with. I won't agree and say that we're a bad support team. I will say that we maybe set up this process not as good as we could have before. That was probably the nicest way I could put it without kicking myself in the butt. But our support team, we do really, really, really care about helping you guys all out from the first day, all the way through your time with Ezoic. And part of this, we are making a lot of changes internally in order to do this. So please, Candy Fun BD, I actually just do my email down in the comment section. Please send me an email, and I will make sure I get your ticket opened and resolved and answered as fast as possible, and I can flag it to the certain team. But to a certain point here, I'm going to agree with you. It's not always the easiest way to find support, which is why we are making changes to make this easier for you all. Because we do take these comments, with with good hindsight. These are your experiences. It's only fair. So we are going to make those changes to make it a lot better for you all. Beatrice says, is Name Hero a good web host provider to go with Ezoic? We do have publishers running with Name Hero, but I would probably say if you're going to make a change, then I would either do it with one of the ones I listed prior. Again, Kinsta, SiteGround, Crystal, A2 Hosting, Amazon Lightsail, Big Scoots, Rocket.net, Cloudflare, Our Hosting, and Namecheap. My head was turned because I was reading those off the list. But again, if there's something that's drawing you to Name Hero, if there's a certain feature or whatnot, let me know and I can see how we can implement that on our own, or show you where it's available through another host. Even if you get approved, if your domain gets approved for ad manager, if there are major issues with AdSense on other domains or an account, then we still will not be able to do that. Glam Girl says, need question for Ezoic approval. I'm more than happy to answer this question for you. If there's something specific to the actual Ezoic review, I can for sure touch up on that. But yeah, just clarify this question a bit more. I would love to answer. Grog says, I'm very close to level 3. Maybe I'll get past level 2 this month only. All thanks to you, Charlie. That is super nice, and I really appreciate that nice comment. I would honestly say that one of my favorite parts of being part of the Access Now team, other than helping out the smaller publishers because others won't, is actually seeing you guys progress through, Access Now to level 1, to level 2, to level 3, because others have done it just like Gaurav. Tons have done it. They've gone to level 4. And that's probably one of the best things, because at that point, you guys are basically seeing tons of solid, consistent revenue. And with the right efforts and work ethic and resources, you can for sure all reach this level without a doubt in my mind. But when you say all thanks to you, Charlie, I really appreciate that. But you need to look yourself in the mirror and thank yourself, because you, at the end of the day, are the one that's getting done. You were the one that did the research and said, hey, Ezoic Access No program wants to help me out with this, with growing my site. That's my current goal. We have the same goal. So again, give yourself tons of credit here. You facilitated the content, bought the domain, signed it up, worked on writing new content, improved SEO. So you really need to give yourself a pat on the back here, and that's awesome. But I'm actually really, really happy you actually joined through. You joined in my live stream to tell me, because this honestly is my favorite part of my day, and this just made it that much better. Kojo says, hi sir, I have a Google AdSense at Ezoic on my site. This affects my menu. Now I would like to turn off Google Ad. How to fix it? So actually, you can actually just reach out to us in Twist, and we can actually just configure some settings on the back end to actually remove all non-Ezoic ads from your Ezoic versions of your pages. And that way, this mobile menu will not be an issue anymore. But if you do want to turn off Google ads in AdSense, you can actually just go and turn off auto ads. Again, auto ads should not be an issue with Ezoic. We can actually just automatically remove these from your pages. This should actually be done automatically, but I found 2 cases recently where it looked like we weren't. So I did flag it to our team, and they are working on a fix. They've actually implemented it for those 2 others, and they're going to work on pushing out the fix for everyone probably by the end of the day. So we won't even need to worry about this. Can I restream live feed to my audience? Yeah, I'm curious where you're actually showing this live stream. Okay, but yeah, you should be able to do that. And if you do have an audience of some sort, whether I want to say hello, you have a great facilitator. Again, I always say Open Tune Day, and I really hope I'm still not butchering it. I know last time you said it was fine, but I really just hope I'm not butchering it. But I'm curious where you are holding this live stream for your audience. Again, reach out to my email. It's right below your question, and maybe we can work on allowing them to basically comment through your live stream and have it show up on here without you facilitating questions. Can I restream live feed to my audience? Yeah, but you can restream live to your audience for sure. Candy basically give me the ticket ID. Okay, I'm gonna write this down. Candy Fun BD, I'm writing this down for you right now. Cool. I'm actually going to send this over to the team as well, just so they get working on this right now. Do you remember what the ticket was actually for? Do you remember exactly what the ticket was for? Can you find? Because if I can answer it right now, then I would love to. Yeah, I would love to answer this for you, or at least give you some insight to what the question is. But I did send it over to the team. We'll make sure we find that ticket for you and give a response ASAP. Beatrice, of course. If you have anything else you want to ask, I'll be more than happy to answer it. But Rob, let me answer Rob's first. He says, "Oh, nice. From access level to level 2, it took me more than a year. And after that, I started reading Ezoic blog and weekly live class support. And you wouldn't believe I went from level 2 to level 3 in just months. Thank you, Charlie." So I will say, we are constantly pushing out content. We're constantly pushing out articles to basically facilitate this growth. But I would say something that I personally struggle with, and something on our team is basically facilitating this content to you all to be engulfed in a more natural manner. That way you don't have to dig through certain articles and dig through websites to actually find the valuable content. I'm going to be working more on producing content and portraying it to you guys in, again, in a digestible manner. But that honestly, that's so amazing to hear, Gaurav. Level 2, level 3 is not your limit either. You can easily be a VIP publisher. I don't think we've had an Access Now publisher go to VIP yet. So let's make it happen. Let's see the first. It's definitely possible, and we'd be more than happy to facilitate that growth. I have a lot of issues to solve regarding my website with Ezoic. What's the best or most efficient way to solve all of these? Firing all my questions in Twist or YouTube, or per my mail to you. So I will say the best is probably through Twist, because we can actually bring up and analyze and troubleshoot everything on our end. And that way, when we do write our responses in Twist, we can basically give you the full insight. I'll also say that answering them here would be really possible. I can for sure answer these questions and troubleshoot and make these fixes on my end. But I will say for right now, Twist will be. I will work on creating more content to actually do specific troubleshooting things that we see commonly. Let's say with the new version of Lead. I will be basically making videos because I think those are really easy to read and take in and learn. I'm a visual learner for one, so I think it'll benefit a lot of you guys as well, opposed to just reading through an article. But for right now, your best option and avenue is going to be through Twist. You can also send me an email if you like. I could probably answer this kind of on a shorter term and then direct you to Twist after that. But yeah, Twist. And I'm curious, Beatrice, what are some of these issues? Because I'm more than happy to go through some of them right now. Again, I can pull up your domain if you want me to, and I can share it with everyone here, and I can show you exactly what I would do. Or I can just offer you the right insight of what you might need to do on your end. Again, just let me know what the questions are, let me know what your domain is, and I can get working on that right now. And I says, Charlie, do you know if advertisers pay less for ads on a niche website that is alcohol related? I actually don't know specifically. We do have a revenue operations team. That was just a water. It's just a LaCroix. We're not drinking beer at the office at 2 on a Tuesday. I promise. It's just water. We do have a team where I could basically ask this, and they can pull up tons of data. But by my initial thoughts, I don't want to say yes or no. I can see why some advertisers might be a little bit hesitant to bid as much for alcohol-related content. Okay, but Beatrice said she's going to use Twist for more questions. But yeah, again, and I can ask this question for you. But if you are, let's say you do have a niche that does contain some alcohol content. If you want to maybe see if there is a significant difference, you can actually compare pages in your analytics. So what you can actually just do is go to your top landing pages, cycle through some of them, and then from there you can just compare the ePMV for some of your pages to another that's alcohol and not alcohol related. Okay, so yeah. The ePMV on the website is like 6 instead of my usual 25 to 50. First off, 25 to 50, that's awesome. Congrats again. I know we've talked about it. That's so awesome. But yes, so that could be the reason why. I can actually reach out to our revenue team and basically see if there are any networks that we could maybe configure this with, and maybe some do pay more for certain alcohol-related content. I could see the obvious restrictions as to why they might not. As someone once told me in the past, actually, I think it was actually one of you guys in Twist, someone was saying, why is this word being flagged for objectionable content? This is clearly it's just health-related word. It's not used in an inappropriate manner. And then when you guys basically chimed in and said, if you wouldn't say this to your own 3 or 4-year-old kid, then I wouldn't put it on your articles. And I think that's maybe a similar thought process, not the same, obviously, in terms of this ePMV and your content, but it's maybe something to consider. Like, who is this audience? Does this limit the type of audience that could read this article? You're already asking the question. Could users or could networks be bidding less for alcohol-related content? And even yourself asking the question, it kind of probes in the back of your head. Like, I could see why they do, but again, I don't have a for sure answer for you on that, but I can get one. Beatrice says, here is already one question. Hi, Charlie. I haven't received any ad revenue anymore since 9/9. Does it have to do with Leap? No, but this is for sure something I wanted to look into, because this is most likely something we can easily fix and have you earning revenue today. So please go into Twist. I would really, really appreciate that. And let's make sure that's the first thing we do. I would look, think about any changes you made either to your theme, something that you're hosting, or something in Ezoic on 9/9, and then maybe work backwards from there. That's usually one of the better things we do. If you do want to reach out to us again, Beatrice, I can pull up some of the changes you've actually made in the past, so I can look at that by date, and I can say, hey, you made this change on the 9th, let's work backwards from there. Or you made 10 changes on the 9th, let's use that sample and work backwards from there. But this is for sure something that we can probably handle today and get those ads showing. If no revenue is being reported, but you are showing ads, one of my first inclinations is you could be using Leap. Not Leap. You could be using Jetpack. Jetpack plugin offers some good features, but it does block a lot of this, block a lot of our data from being reported. So sometimes you will see either no visits or no revenue being made. So if you do have Jetpack, please disable that. Candy Fun says, I'm losing my rank on Google for this issue. Please help if you can. I've already sent you an email. Thank you. I will for sure pull up my email right after this. I'll go into Twist. I'll pull up this. But let me just make sure I got your email before. I'm not seeing an email from you. Let me see if it came into another folder. I'm not seeing anything in my email yet, but Kenny, fine. I will make sure that we reach out on that ticket ID. I already sent it over, and then we can definitely help with that. There's probably a handful. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think in the back of my head. There's probably a couple other things that will definitely look in there too. One thing I can't check on my end, but you can check on yours for me, is if your rankings or if everything is still okay in Google Search Console. That'll definitely be one of the first things. Okay, Beatrice, I'm gonna pull up your site really quick because you said, I don't understand what I should do. My domain is this. Let me pull this up for you. Okay. But to answer your question shortly, no, changes in Leap should not have any effect to you earning revenue. but I do see you still have traffic. Oh, okay. So I was seeing like 7 visits on some of those days. So this could just be in terms of how much traffic you're getting. So for the past couple of days, I've only seen 1 to 3 visits a day. Beatrice, that's basically going to be the reason why you're not seeing any revenue being reported. Um, if this sounds correct, then I would just say continue working on SEO and writing more content. If you're seeing more data showing in GA but not in Ezoic, that is definitely something we can troubleshoot first thing first. But definitely on first site, one of the last days of earning revenue was again the 8th, but it was only 1 cent, and it's because we were seeing just a couple more visits that day. You were seeing 7. So I would definitely say that just continue to work on writing more content and improving your SEO efforts. That would be great if you could, Charlie. I am praying premium member with the 2-year contract, so maybe it would be done. I would definitely buy you a beer if my ePMV can be fixed. When you say it like that, no, I'm kidding. I will help you out regardless, for sure. I'll be more than happy to help you out. But yeah, let me ask. Um, let me ask them for you all and see what we can do there. And it could just be exactly as you said. Some partners might not be willing to bid as much on alcohol related content. Helen, oh, hello again. Arriving late, it's totally okay. No need to apologize. Was on another live stream moderating. Awesome. Helen says, hello, hi, NX. Okay, well, ask my questions in twist. Joanne says, hi, Helen, CA. Hey, Helen, great to see you all. Okay, Beatrice, you actually had Jetpack enabled. So this is actually a prime example of you not seeing any data show up in Ezoic, because if you were seeing like 100 visits a day, and then for the past couple of days there's actually 0, that could be a direct result of you having Jetpack enabled. So we can for sure move that. Beatrice, the best thing to do now that you've actually removed it is basically monitor your users and your data starting right now, and then recheck it tomorrow around midday to just make sure the data is actually updated. But you having Jetpack enabled is definitely going to be a prime example of what I said earlier. Blocks our reporting and our data, so you won't see any revenue being made. I love the little comments you guys have going on in here. It seems like Helen and Joanne know each other, and next you guys all know each other. I love this. I'm happy you guys are joining. I love having you guys in here. It's really fun. Definitely a lot of things that I need to improve on in terms of bringing up more content, but there's tons of changes about to be made in Ezoic. So I'm going to have a plethora of things to talk about and to show you new exciting new features. A lot of amazing new things coming for you all. Grog says, Charlie, can you tell Premium Team to add PayPal and debit card as payment method? Because most of the bloggers don't own credit card. It would really help. Absolutely. I would love to do this for you. Let me just write it down so I don't forget, because a lot of thoughts go through my head and I don't want to forget something like this. You wanted what? PayPal and debit? Absolutely. I will for sure ask that for you. PayPal would be amazing because then I can use my dollars for payment without conversion fees. So it looks like, Rob, you're not alone there. It seems like it's a really good suggestion. So I will definitely, I'll send that over right after this. I can actually pass some of the premium publisher workers on my walk back to the office. So I can literally or back to my desk. So I can literally just talk to them literally on the way and say, hey, one person brought this up in the live stream. And then immediately another was like, hey, no, I want some of that too. And I don't think you're a minority here saying that you want to avoid those conversion fees, because why wouldn't you? Beatrice says, I had a boost in Google Analytics traffic with about 2,300 visits, but it decreased quickly, unfortunately. So I have to, so I have Indeed work on SEO and put more content out, like you say, Charlie. Thank you. Yeah, but so Jetpack is for sure going to be the major culprit here, as to why you are seeing these um, basically low earnings or no earnings. It's because Jetpack blocks that traffic and doesn't get picked up on our end. I do want, so now that I'm caught up on questions, I know you guys have heard me talk about this in the past, but I will say it is such a good opportunity for you guys to earn free money, and it's going to be through our affiliate program. It has been reworked, it's been revamped. Payments and everything are getting automatically added. We've done a bunch of beta testing. Everything seems to be working so far, but outside of the cash bonuses during this month of September, and I know you're saying, hey, Charlie, it's the 27th, I can't do this. Not true. You guys have the opportunity to basically get this content package from this company called, what is it called? Content Refined. And basically what is the publisher who refers the most amount of publishers to Ezoic that have not already been on Ezoic will basically get this content package. And what it basically is, you basically get this content package with this other company that sells these packages. It'll basically be 5,000 words of written content done by this content refining company. So let's say, let's say Joanne wins this affiliate contest. She gets in touch with this content refining company. She says, hey, I have 5,000 words, so I want you to write me 5 articles, 1,000 words each. They will do that for you. You can even tell them, the type of content that's been performing well for you, that hasn't been. It'll give you, basically a report of, what you should or should not be writing on. You also get a project manager to help facilitate the type of content you should be writing. You get keyword research and title creation. You get SEO specialist and optimization, and they'll actually publish it to your site as well. That 5,000 word count doesn't have to be 5,000 or 5 articles only. You can do 500 word count for 10 articles, but you'll basically get this 5,000 word count package. You guys can join through affiliate.ezoic.com, complete the basic affiliate coursework, which will show you basically the best practices. And then, yeah, you guys will basically seeing this huge package being given to you from Content Refined. And I don't think there's a specific value set on this, but if it's all, really well generated content, which this company does for a living, you'll basically see the returns in revenue over months on end, because so this would be great for someone like you, Beatrice, or basically anyone in this program, or even grow up or get them to the next level. But yeah, this is open for all of you guys. So I would definitely go into affiliates.ezoic.com, start doing that, and to refer as many publishers as quick as you can, because if they start earning before the end of the month, then you will be good and those will count. Again, that'll be a massive incentive. It'll definitely boost your site and your content tenfold and your revenue tenfold. But some of the cash bonuses that you guys can get. So let's say Beatrice refers Annex or Nax as a publisher. Once Annex hits $10 made in revenue, Beatrice gets a $10 cash bonus. So she's getting 100% match of what Annex has already made. Once Annex hits $20 of total revenue, Beatrice will then be paid out I mixed this up. Once Annex hits $100 of total revenue, Beatrice will be paid out $20. So the cash bonuses for Beatrice will now be at $30 total. Once Annex hits $200 revenue total over time, Beatrice will get a $50 cash reward. And then once Annex hits $400 in revenue over their time, Beatrice will get a $100 cash bonus. So in just the cash bonuses, once Annex hits $400 of revenue, Beatrice will have $180 of straight cash bonus added to their account. That'll be automatically paid out. You don't need to do anything other than refer them to the affiliate link, and then you're good there. But of course, on top of that, you also get 3% of their total earnings. So let's say, again, Beatrice refers Annex. Let's say Annex does $1,000 in a month. Yep, they're getting $30 cash bonus. Again, this doesn't stop after 1 month, so you'll basically be getting 3% of their total earnings and revenue um, for the lifetime they're on Ezoic. And no, it won't be taken out of the earnings of the person you refer to. It'll be basically a bonus added to you. But yeah, Annick says, I could use some more revenue after Google destroyed one of my websites. Excuse me. That's exactly true. Not only that, if you do refer and get the cash bonuses, which is awesome, let's say you do win, then you can get 5,000 of written content, SEO specialist, project manager, SEO optimization, title creation, and little do you know, maybe you continue to work on your SEO efforts. Maybe it blows up on social media. That could easily be, an article that blows up, goes viral, and sees tons and tons and tons of revenue. So in terms of the 5,000 word count package, your limits are honestly undefined. And then again, just in total, you guys do get a 3% bonus, or you get 3% of the earnings of all of the publishers you refer. I said this the past 2 weeks because I think it's so incredible. We had a smaller developer basically refer one of his friends that he works with, or another website that did I think it was like $10,000 in a month of total revenue. It's a lot of money. And there's a lot of free money just because you refer someone. Again, it doesn't take away from the person you refer. It'll just be cash bonus on top. So it's just a really, really good opportunity for you guys to earn more money for free. Cool. I think I'm all caught up on questions, so I can leave this open for a little bit. And then I can answer questions as you want. You can ask any questions about me. You can ask any questions about Ezoic. You can ask any questions about the weather outside. But then if not, we can wrap things up, and I can go into Twist again right after this and continue to help you guys for the rest of the day. But again, if you guys are struggling to find support, and you're saying, hey, I'm not in Twist anymore, I really need help, or I need to be in Twist, I haven't been in there yet, but I want to be, I'm going to put my email down in the comment section again. Just reach out to me and say, hey, Charlie, I really need help finding support for X, Y, and Z reason. Not only will I put you up into the right hands to help you out, but I can also facilitate some of the answers. I have an upcoming training for an audience of about 200 people, but it's only on the 1st of October. Will it count? For the affiliate, for the 5,000 package, word count package, it won't. Those will need to be in September. But open today. If you do, actually, could you write me an email right now? And maybe we could, try to work something out for you, because if you are referring 200 publishers, or you're opening that up, your floodgates to, this amount of people, I want to make sure that, we're facilitating this and we're helping you with this as much as possible, because referring 200 people would be absolutely massive, not only for your cash bonuses and for your 3% earnings on top, but for us as well. So we want to make sure that, we also help you out and we compensate you for doing this, because that would be huge. But I'm just curious, training for an audience of 200 people, I'm just curious what that is. I would love to, I don't want to take over, but I would just, I'd love to just be a part of it and see what that is and what that looks like. But I also say thank you, because that's awesome. That's a massive audience. I know you believe in the product the same way we believe in you. So I do really, really appreciate that. But again, open today. If you could reach out, I would love to basically, help you out with some of that and basically figure out, maybe a workaround we could do. Actually, that sounds like a bribe. Not wrong. But yeah, Annick, I'll love to help you out. I can put you in touch. I'll get in touch with the revenue team. If not, I can at least pull some data and figure out a workaround. But honestly, guys, I just want to say again, thank you so much for joining. I really, really love this time of my week. I will be doing another one on Thursday. I am new to this room in here. This is going to basically be my little room. I even got some artwork to put on behind me. But I'm really excited. This is definitely really early stages of my live streams. So I'm going to be changing things. I'm going to be making it more interactive. I'm going to have much more valuable data, especially as changes come out. So if you guys have any insight and say, hey, Charlie, I love when you do this, I hate when you do this, I'd love you to cover this, cover less of this, please just let me know. I'll be flexible. I only want to do what's best for you all. That's all we want in the Access Now program and here at Ezoic. All we want to do is facilitate your guys' growth, knowledge, and progress. I promise, that's it. So please, offering any feedback really does help me. I only want to do these if they're beneficial for you all, which it seems like it is. I think part of it will be with some of the major updates that comes to the dashboard. These will be more beneficial. Again, I'm smiling. I don't want to give any spoilers. Helen says, any idea what time on Thursday, Charlie? It's late at night there. It's 10 p.m. So Helen, if you would rather have me run one earlier in the morning, that's totally fine. I can run one at 10 a.m. for you Pacific Standard Time, or if you want me to, and if you have, I know you run your little channel. If you want me to run one at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time because it's easier for you all, I'll be more than happy to do that. I can easily come into the office early in the morning and start one. There's no issue with that at all. I'd honestly love to start my morning like that. Even if it's early, we have free coffee here, so I can just get all jacked up on caffeine and run one for you guys. Right now, I think it's scheduled for 10 a.m. on Thursday. Again, let me know, and I can run it at 8 a.m. Yeah, I don't think it's a little channel. 8 p.m. BST. Excuse my lack of time zone knowledge. 8 p.m. British summertime is 12 Carlsbad. Okay, so you want me to run it at noon? I can definitely do that. Oh, and onwards is good for you. Okay, so like, how about I run one at 12? Or that's usually one. How about I run one at 1 p.m.? I can also run another one early in the morning. I can run two if we need. That sounds like a fun day. But yeah, no, I wasn't saying your little channel. I know it's not a small channel. But yeah, I would love to do that. Okay, perfect. I'll definitely run one noon onwards, and that way I can help. If you guys also have friends and groups that are like, hey, we would actually prefer an earlier one, please just let me know. I'd be more than happy to just run two a day. I would actually love that. But yeah, open today. Thanks for sending me an email. I will definitely keep my eye out for that. I haven't got one yet. But if you are in Twist, though, just send me a DM and I can for sure facilitate this. Let me just write down. I actually remember your domain name as well, so I can actually track you down and get your email and send you one as well. It's just that Tuesday is hard for me because I moderate another live stream then. Okay, that's fine. I'll be more than happy on. Oh wait, you said on Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday afternoon, and then Tuesdays are hard for you in the morning. Okay, I can definitely do that. I'll definitely keep my schedule to help with that as well. Again, honestly, I'm really willing to do whatever I can to help you guys all. The reason I can say that with so much confidence is because I know everyone at this company, Ezoic, including Dwayne, our CEO, would literally do anything to help you guys and not, run up ridiculous fees or charges. They're literally going to say, hey, let's give everyone access to everything for free and just let them grow. But anyways, I appreciate the kind words. You guys both have one. Nice, you got a corner office. Well deserved. Thanks for the great stream. I'll go back to updating my site. Awesome. I'll love to do that. Thanks. It's a little bland in here. I'm not even going to show you the other side. Just kidding. I am going to show you the other side. We got some cleaning to do. I have my work cut out. But I do appreciate it. I really love it. Helen says, I love your new office. Huge improvement on that felt line box you're in last week. Yeah, I like to call that my timeout box. The sales team likes to use it because they're all soundproof, so you can talk right next to each other. But yeah, I like to call it my soundproof box. I like to call it my timeout box. Annex, I would love to say yes to this, but unfortunately, that's out of my reach, out of my scope. But I wish. Maybe we can work something out. I'm kidding. There's nothing I can do there. The good thing about premiums, though, is regardless of what you pay, you'll basically be earning more than what you pay. So, your return of investment will always be net positive. You'll never have to pay for premium and earn less, which is the beauty part of it. That's true, but it's okay. I love the distractions. I think that the interactions we have here in the live stream is why I love it so much as well, is because, we don't just sit behind a computer and talk all day and twist. Um, we're both real people. It's a digital world. Um, it is a digital world, so it's nice to have these human interactions. We are real people. COVID was hard for all of us, I'm sure. So even doing this, digitally live is better than just typing behind a screen. I'm going to answer this question, and then I'll probably call it quits here. If my traffic decrease, will I downgrade to a lower level? Yes, it actually will. But let's just reach out to us, and let's just facilitate that growth, so we can only we can facilitate you going up to the next level, and not the level down below. All right, everyone. You guys are honestly the best. I love my group here. You guys always make my day. You have a good sense of humor. You have a great positive insight on this. But yeah, you guys are honestly the best. I really hope to see you guys on Thursday. Helen, it'll be post 8 p.m. BST. But then again, thank you guys so much. You're the best. And I'll see you guys all soon. Bye.